Okay, it's June 16th, and we are looking to measure, taking the measurements of where the motor and transmission are, so that I can lift them up and we can get some of the brackets connected to the frame. So we're looking at, on this side, from the inside edge to the face is, let's say, 13 and 15/16. And then from the inside edge of the frame here is 13 and 15/16. Yes, I did center it before I turned the camera on. From the back of the frame to the center of our axle is about 14 inches right here. And on this side, it's probably not quite. It's almost 15 1/4, so this whole unit needs to go back. And then from the side here, we're looking at about 4 inches from the transmission to the inside edge of the frame. Front to back. Well, it's got to go back, I guess, but this thing is probably, I'm going to say 15 3/4 from the center of here to the front of the module. It's probably going to end up being not 15 3/4, but more like 16 1/2, 17 by the time that's pushed back. Distances on the brackets. From the inside here, this way, inside here, this whole motor has to come back, so I'm going to say 8 3/4, no, I'm going to say 9 inches for the near hole and 11 inches for the far hole. This is left to right. This being the back of the motor module, or the part right behind the right nearest the crush structure at the back. What else do we have? There is mounting bolts here that I'm going to try and use, and those are approximately 16 1/2 inches on center. That will be 2 1/4 inch vertical with a piece of 2-inch spacer and then a 4-inch across here to there. I don't know of anything else that I need to verify. So in any case, I'm going to take the jack stands that I have, lift up the frame, and then I'm going to slide my engine hoist underneath and pick the motor and transmission up, and then while that's in the air, I'll get the brackets put in and bolted down, and then we'll put the motor and transmission onto the supports and get it bolted down, and of course adjusted 4 or 5 times. Sorry for the lighting, had to open the garage door to see what I was doing. So I have a loop or sling around the motor where the motor connects up to the transmission adapter, and then I have another loop that's just stabilizing it going through the lifting ring so that I can lift it level. So this is about how high it has to be. It's not quite level, but that's fine. I've leveled out the 2 jack stands on that side and 2 hydraulic jacks on this side. So now we're going to be putting the support brackets across, 2 for the motor over in this area, 2 going across about here with a 2-inch tube coming through this bracket here, up, and then another support at the top. And we're going to be doing 2 vertical aluminum pieces on this end, a piece of 2-inch for spacer, and then a piece of 4-inch aluminum off of these 2 bolts there. I will eventually get something strapped up here. I'm not sure exactly if that's going to be right away or if I'm going to do that a little later. A quick overview of what I got done. So the support for the motor, this was moved from here over to here. When I moved the transmission and the motor back far enough for for these axles to be coming out the right place. This motor mount ended up being on top of the back support. So I put the other side of the support on horizontal across, which is resting on these supports. A little bit more support than stuff going this way. So I did that, and that just happened to end up in a good place for supporting the transmission over here. And the front of the transmission lip is just a little bit on here. We're going to be putting a bolt into there and putting an angle bracket down. Another piece went across from driver's to passenger side, bolted down to a 2-inch piece of tube, which fit into this existing motor mount on the transmission. Bolt that's required is 1/2 inch. I only had 3/8, so I made it work. Once I get some more bolts, I will put in the correct one and get it fitted better. I've got washers and spacers on either side to make sure that it doesn't wiggle back and forth. And then I have a piece of 1-inch piece of tube inside here, rotated sideways. So this bolt goes into a piece of tube with a nut on the end, and this one does as well. This is bolted in. So everything seems pretty rigid. It doesn't move much at all. And then from the back of the motor module, the center of the shaft is about 14.5 inches on this side. And on this side, I believe it's about the same, 14.5. It should be about closer to 14, but it's the best I could do without sticking the transmission out the back of the motor module.